considered financial advice or an endorsement of any product, service, or opinion. To protect the integrity and confidentiality of participants, please do not share any personal stories or experiences shared by participants during this session. As always, the session is being recorded. It may be shared on Disruptor LLC's platforms. By participating or viewing, you actually agree not to copy, share, or reproduce any content without permission. All materials presented here are the intellectual property of Disruptor LLC and its counterparts. And a little bit about our mission. Mindset, knowledge, and wealth is the name to our game. Our mission is to accelerate wealth building opportunities by strengthening mindsets and advancing education and investment in disruptive technology. And you'll learn a little more about that tonight. So, we originally advertised that we would have BK Crypto and Alicia Holmes from Journey to Wealth. That is not the case, and for that, we do apologize. However, we have Anjali, another co-founder of Disruptor DAO. Shawnee Renee Benton Gibson was originally scheduled to appear, and she is here. But don't worry, we will hear immortal words from BK Crypto and from Journey to Wealth. So, beginning with Anjali. As I said, she is a co-founder of Disruptor DAO. She started Disruptor DAO to leverage disruptive technologies for education, business expansion, and philanthropy. We have 6 pillars. She is a pioneer of social impact. She leads efforts to harness technology for social change, holistic well-being, and economic growth. In addition, she leads efforts in clean energy, construction, and agriculture, promoting sustainable technological advancements for global growth as a champion of innovation. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Anjali to the stage.
Awesome. Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up.
Perfect.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, beautiful. Welcome everyone to our kind of season finale of season 3 of Wellness Wednesdays. We are super excited and thankful for everyone to join us. And so tonight we want to just kind of, get the temperature check for everyone around digital currencies beyond the panic. And so we know right now there is a lot of uncertainty around the financial landscape, around the economic landscape, as we know, with everything from tariffs to inflation and everything is the costs seem to be going up. Yet there's also tremendous opportunity that a lot of us aren't really that's a conversation that's not really so much taking place within our communities around the opportunity that exists right now within the realm of disruptive technology, looking at digital assets, cryptocurrency, and what you will hear from, and what many of you have heard before, who are parts of our communities and as well as the part of the Journey to Wealth community, is that in times of uncertainty and disruption, there is a tremendous opportunity for innovation, for investment, for new creation. And so that's what we're all about here with Disruptor DAO. And so just wanted to do a quick question out there while I'm pulling up my screen about, what's people's sense on, digital currency and even kind of what's going on in the financial landscape nowadays. Like wanting to, hear from folks. Is there fear? Is there excitement about the opportunity? Is it just like, I don't know, OMG? But please feel free to drop in the chat, just what are y'all senses around, kind of what's happening in the world right now as it relates to economics, finances, wanting to get a sense of what's going on. So I'm seeing some yeses in the chat. Is that a yes that there's some uncertainty going on? Um, I'm saying that respecting people's feelings, personally excited. Yes, indeed. I will say I'm in a lot of conversations with various groups, and I'm oftentimes asked about our tribe. You know, like how are we feeling in this time, and what's the conversation that we're having, and in some conversations, there's serious concern around things happening within the administration, um, everything happening within the economic landscape. There's quite a bit of uncertainty, and folks are really trying to figure out what to do. How do we continue to generate resources together and collectively? How do we expand our businesses, our mindsets, our creativity to be able to innovate and share in this space. And then on the other side of it, and talking with people in the innovation lane and in the blockchain and digital asset community, where they're super excited, right? Bitcoin has hit its all-time high this past week. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And in some conversations, this is the best time to be living, right? This is the greatest opportunity for innovation. This is a once in a generation moment that we're living in right now. And so we're going to talk more about mindset tonight, as well as we have some upcoming events to dive deeper into understanding how we can shift our mindset and take advantage of these opportunities in the midst of what's happening and what's going on. And so, one of the things that we are a student of, building out of the Journey to Wealth community, is understanding the power of investment, the power of investing early, and also taking advantage of opportunities in the digital landscape. And so, Alicia, who unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight, who you'll definitely will see again, has really taken been able to manifest financial freedom for herself, and has been teaching other people and other women like us within the Dow about how to generate financial freedom through investing early in technology. And so when looking at blockchain technology, which is the undercurrent technology that Bitcoin and digital assets and cryptocurrency sits on top of, is blockchain technology. It's new, it's disruptive, it's at its infancy stage, and now is the time to look at taking advantage of this opportunity. So let's just talk a little bit about Bitcoin. We're going to talk a little bit about stable coins, and then talk a little bit about some opportunities that we have to be a part of this conversation, because what we understand the opportunity here to be creators and innovators and pioneers and inventors in this space now, so that a generation from now, or not even this to say 10 years from now, we won't just be consumers. And historically, when you look at these industrial revolutions right now, we're in the fifth industrial revolution, where you see, AI and quantum computing and blockchain technology is really taking off and at its infancy stage. Throughout history, there's been other generations that have seen similar types of spurs in innovation, when looking at how technology has grown over the past 100 years. And so we're in a prime opportunity now where we can be builders and creators, and not just consumers, as historically most people have been over the past 50 to 100 years, during these kind of patterns of innovation and patterns of disruption throughout history as it relates to business, economies, etc. So let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I will say again, to our disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Everything that is being shared with you is for educational purposes. Please do your own research, and we'll give some information at the end about how to join our groups to learn more and to receive more resources about what we're talking about. But just wanting to give some information for people to start thinking about ways to just kind of get into the game, right? So this was shared with us by our friends over at BK Crypto, around everyday Bitcoin in everyday life, where some people are still saying like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam, and there are huge skeptics out there. But we'll see very soon here in this moment that we have together, how this technology is already woven into our lives in a way in which it's definitely here to stay, and it's definitely making tremendous impacts in our life. So Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency, the first digital asset currency built utilizing blockchain technology. There are several other digital asset technologies and projects that are out there. So, but we're just going to give a few examples here tonight. But Bitcoin it fits into a couple of different asset classes, which is why we're hearing so much about it now, because it is seen as a store of value, and that is because there is a finite number of Bitcoin that will ever exist that is written into the code. And so because there is a finite number, that means that there is a store of value. And it also, of course, creates scarcity, which is why now Bitcoin is, well, I think today when I looked, it was around 108. It's been flirting around 108, 109. A few days ago, it hit its all-time high of 111 for its value. And I know people who got Bitcoin when it was $200, and less than that, right? And so you're definitely able to see the scalability of this asset over the past years. And it can also be used as an actual currency in a way in which you can, manage and use if you so choose. Now, there are some who are like, never sell your Bitcoin because it is an asset class, it's a finite number, and there will be one day where it will become very challenging to acquire Bitcoin for yourself. So again, do your own research. This is not financial advice, but just wanted to give people use cases to show that this is here, and global entities, countries are all moving to adopt Bitcoin reserves. You might have heard about this in the news, where several countries, including the United States, as well as several states within the United States, have passed laws to have a Bitcoin financial reserve as a part of the financial framework for the economy. And so I want to share a little bit here around how certain companies are already accepting Bitcoin, right? So there are some retailers where you can use Bitcoin right now, say at Home Depot. I know Whole Foods was accepting Bitcoin. Starbucks is another. You can use it to book travel as well, entertainment, bill pay, as well as international remittances. And so, one of the major value adds around having decentralized opportunities for people to send money across borders, it mitigates that middleman that takes a lot of fees and time and transactions to, say, send money to your friends and family and loved ones who are abroad or in other countries. And so with digital assets and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others, you're able to do it's called peer to peer. And so right now with wallet to wallet, I can, we can get each other's wallet addresses, and we can send and exchange right there, and it's quick and it's immediate, and it doesn't go through the intermediaries of like banks or the wire process, or even going through like what is it, Western Union and some others who take tremendous fees, and it takes a lot of lag time oftentimes to send funding to your loved ones. And so that's a huge opportunity. And when we start to look deeper into some of the projects around digital assets and cryptocurrency exchanges, that's the number one use case that you might find, is being able to transact quickly and trade money and trade value and assets among each other. So there are several different payment mechanisms that one can use. You have mobile wallets, is kind of what I just mentioned about in terms of having wallet to wallet transfers. Mobile wallets you might have heard about, like Coinbase. There's a Trust Wallet, Exodus, and others. And I'm sharing my screen here, and y'all see these little icons up here. So this is a Exodus wallet icon up here. This is a MetaMask wallet. This is a Phantom wallet. All of these sit on and this is also Grass. It's another type of digital asset mining tool. You can see these things are embedded into your browser here, where you can easily just like click on them. So if I click on my MetaMask here, you'll see it'll come up, and I don't know if it's actually going to show because I'm sharing my screen. Oh, there it is. It's coming up. It'll come up, and then I'll put in the password there, and then it can unlock my MetaMask wallet, and I can send and trade cryptocurrency with, friends, family, and loved ones. So there are advantages, and we'll see if we can make this available to the community for, diving deeper and looking at the advantages and also some challenges. As I mentioned, this technology is very new. It's at its infancy stage, so there's opportunity now to take advantage. It's not too late, even though when we first, well, Bitcoin has grown tremendously over these past couple of years, but they're predicting that one day it will be $1 million, right? And so it's not too late to get into the game from an investment standpoint. So, wanted to share here about a little bit about Bitcoin, but also wanted to note that Bitcoin is just one type of cryptocurrency or dollar. PayPal also has launched their own digital asset. It's called PayPal or PYUSD on PayPal. And so right now, everyone can sign up on your PayPal and utilize their digital asset, their stable coin. And so a stable coin is a cryptocurrency that is built on blockchain that is backed, it matches the dollar. So it's one for one. And so if you have, if I have 10 PYUSD tokens, that equates to 10 US dollars. And so as you see here, it's a stable coin backed by a secure and highly liquid asset. And you can use it to buy, sell, hold, and transfer it on your PayPal app right now. So I really like how it's very clean and clear. So again, as you can see, large institutions like PayPal, BlackRock is another. JP Morgan Chase also has a platform, and there are several other entities that we are all familiar with who have incorporated cryptocurrencies and digital assets into their framework, right? So just right now, you can see that PayPal has integrated their digital asset into your PayPal. And so you could use it to buy and sell, and you can see a screenshot here of what it looks like to buy right now. You can pull up your phone on PayPal to buy PayPal USD on your app. You can convert it to Bitcoin and other digital assets through the app as well. You can use PayPal USD, which is again a stable coin. I think I mentioned about what's going on in the stable coins. You can pay using PayPal USD. Just like, when you pull into your app on PayPal and it asks you how you want to pay, and it'll give you your credit cards there. It'll also give you other options. There's an option there now where you can pay with cryptocurrency. And you can also send and receive PayPal USD to others. Or you can convert your PayPal PYUSD to another crypto. So you can see that it is definitely embedded. Cryptocurrency is embedded into the fabric of our lives, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. This is definitely a technology that will continue to evolve and scale. There's Bitcoin ETFs, there's Ethereum ETFs, which are things that you can get through your retirement accounts and your traditional and what's called TradFi. You may hear about that, your traditional finance, where you can begin investing and using and getting some of these assets as a part of your traditional portfolio through your traditional banking and kind of retirements. And so that's just at a high level how digital assets and cryptocurrencies are with us. And you might have heard in the news, maybe not, around some of the, and I can stop sharing my screen here because I saw some good things coming in the chat that I definitely want to acknowledge before we move on. In the news right now, there's something called the Genius Act. And the Genius Act is a stablecoin bill that just was approved by the Senate committee to then be advanced to be officially voted on as the one of the first pieces of legislation that the United States will adopt for its stablecoin regulations. And so this is a tremendous, tremendous, just this is a tremendous step in mainstream adoption of digital assets and cryptocurrencies. As you can see, there it's already woven into the fabric of some of our day-to-day opportunities to use crypto. I think I saw a couple of weeks ago where Google Pay just did an integration where you can link your wallet to Google Pay and start using your crypto wallet in Google Pay as well. So these stablecoin bills, and there are some other legislations that are coming down the pike that that's for builders. And so we will hear more about what how Disruptor DAO is building technology in this space. People who issue stablecoins and folks who develop blockchain technologies and things like that. Various laws that will then regulate the business and finance economy is happening right now in real time, and other global world entities have are all also on this same path. So in Europe, they have what's called MiCA. In other places of the world, there are their own types of different legislations and regulations that have been passed and are being passed for digital assets and cryptocurrencies to become mainstream in our commonplace. And so I want to go through quickly. And I don't know, Madam Host, if we have any time for any quick questions about this, but I want to skim the chat and see what the community has to say
We
about this
absolutely
interesting
have,
time we're in.
we absolutely have time. And
Okay.
in the chat, let's see. We have, oh, the use cases presented here are not just tied to Bitcoin, but to other strong crypto assets as well. Of course, Bitcoin is one of the best performing assets of all time. And if people had been even paying to attention to Bitcoin, you'll know a few months ago it finally reached 100,000 K and then
Mhm.
dipped down to 79, and then it was back up at 110. So yeah, it like the stock market moves up and down, sideways, back and forth. Nothing to be
Mhm.
afraid of. It's just the way it is. Now,
Mhm.
some fear. Did you read the one about some fear due to the uncertainty around tariffs, but also excited about
No.
opportunities? Yeah, the Hyacinth dropped that in.
Okay. I wanna touch on that really quickly. Thank you for that. These are great shares. I wonder if we could keep this chat. One of the things that we were taught, right? So back in 2020, when we were really learning and coming together within the Journey to Wealth community around these technologies, we read a book called The Future is Faster Than You Think. And the first page of that book, it says by the time you read this, it will be dated, right? All these things that are happening in this book is already happening, which I totally believe. But what's interesting about that time that we were living in 2020 is that we learned a lot about some of these technologies, predictions about the future of money, the future of wealth. And a lot of those predictions have come to fruition. So in looking at the changing global landscape and the changing like future of work landscape, the inevitability of what's happening right now was kind of written on the wall. And so it's been interesting that a lot of people who got in early on Bitcoin were like, we can use cryptocurrency as a hedge against inflation, as a hedge against some of the, I guess, fallout. And I saw somebody wrote that, but against some of the fallout that will take place as it relates to fiat currencies. And so I don't know who it was that mentioned about how, yes, the markets move up and down, right? But it's always moving up, right? If you look at the patterns, yes, markets move up and down, but it's always moving up, going up and down. Cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, is the same way. It's moving up and down, but it's also always moving up as it's moving up and down. So having that mindset of knowing that when you're looking at some of these, and so we do a lot of chart reading and training on that and educating on what it means to look at the patterns. There's also we're also students of various different economists and such that has shown over the past like 400 years, when you look at economies, there is a pattern of ebbs and flows of money and economies, and how we're right in that ebb and flow. So yes, there's nothing to be fearful of, but to definitely be mindful of where we are and how we can plan for our future.
Great.
Oh, we got some good shares in here. I'm
Stacy
still
says, I
skimming.
desire to accept Bitcoin. That's major.
Yes.
That is major. Because Stacy,
Yes. Oh, what was that, Zawadi?
I was saying Stacy has a business. So it'd be
Oh
great
yeah.
to accept Bitcoin for her business. Stacy is also known as Yogisha, teaches yoga,
Hmm.
and a whole host of other things.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Welcome, Stacey. Always great to have you with us. So yes, that is another piece. Coinbase right now has a institutional or what's called I think Coinbase Enterprise, where you as a business can go on right now and register your business to be able to accept crypto, as well as you could see where you could also do that through PayPal using PYUSD and other digital assets. So yes, the world is positioning for businesses to be able to accept crypto, and we're definitely looking to have some more kind of workshopping and educational opportunities for us to learn more about how to do that and positioning our business to be a part of this digital game. Um, okay, we got some great shares. Would anyone like to? I'm complete with this. I thank y'all so much. Y'all gonna hear from me again soon, very shortly. But just the lasting things that we want to leave with, and I want to turn it back over to our co-hosts and co-founders, is that this is a very exciting time. Despite the turmoil and the tumultuousness of what's going on in the world, yes, there's a lot of communities in unfortunate, despair around what's happening. However, in that same vein, our community, our tribe, us here, you included, are incredibly well positioned to be able to take advantage of this time, to be on the side of those group of folks who are excited about this time and who are becoming extremely wealthy right now, utilizing investment and disruptive technology and innovation to generate wealth together and collectively. So it's all about our mindset and how we approach this together. So with that, I'm complete. I'll turn it back over to the team.
All right. Thank you so much, Angela. If you have any more questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. And I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Shawnee Renee Benton Gibson. She is the CEO of Spirit of a Woman and the co-founder of the ARIA Foundation. Both of her groups basically are leaders in healing and advocacy, and they partner with Disruptor DAO. She's had 34 plus years in trauma healing, coaching, energy work, and reproductive justice and racial equity. Um, the ARIA Foundation just concluded, I want to say, almost a 2-week presentation of what's happening in the world with reproductive justice using AI, and it was phenomenal. We'll put something in the chat so you can look for them on YouTube. Shawnee has been featured in Aftershock, which was a documentary about her fight for birth justice after losing her daughter, Shamani Gibson. Shawnee is also what we call an artivist, and she will tell you a little bit more about that. Once again, though, she's a multidisciplinary artist, and she's a sacred storyteller. Shawnee uses theater, ritual, and performance to alchemize grief, ignite truth, and reclaim legacy. I really want you to tune into what she has to say. But more than that, when she talks about her gift at the end, you want to be here for that. You don't want to miss it. So, Shawnee, please come to the stage.
All right, here I am, everybody. Greetings, greetings. Good evening. This evening is a day we will never see again, but here we are creating it together and building legacy in this moment in time. And I'll share more about why I'm using those particular words. But for the folks that are in the space tonight, the 22 of you, if you, or I'm counted in the 22, so the 21 of us, of you that are in the space tonight, I would like to invite you to drop the name of one of your ancestors in the space. If it's a parent that has transitioned, we definitely want you to drop that in because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. But please do drop the name of someone that you want to be in the space with you, help you synthesize what you're going to learn, because Angela just shared so much wealth with us through the knowledge about cryptocurrency. Some of us, this is a repeat. Some of us, this is brand new information. Whatever the status you have, sometimes we have to be reminded, because I know for me, I've been in this conversation for several years. I met Alicia before the COVID quarantine. I met her in January of 2020. We were at a breakfast and we were both being honored. And I was like, I need to stay connected to this sister. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Alicia Holmes, who is the leader of Journey to Wealth, who is one of, I think, the foremothers, I can say, of Disruptor DAO. So we all wouldn't be here like this if it wasn't for her life and her legacy and her willingness to have courage despite the discomfort. So my charge tonight is to talk about that, but please drop the name of your ancestor, just one, and you can drop more. I don't want to be controlling you if you're led and your belly is telling you to drop other names in, but I do want you to know that my work is about making sure that we honor the first AI, which is ancestral intelligence, and I'm unapologetic about that. So when people invite me into the space, they know I'm always going to be asking folks about their ancestry, about their lineage, to recognize that they do nothing without the support, whether they tap in with intention or not. They do nothing without the support of the ancestors who paved the way for all of this. That includes crypto, that includes stock. And even though it might be coming by way of patriarchy and whiteness and misogyny and low vibration and oppression, that we have the opportunity to take the low vibration and the darkness and turn it into light, because that's just what those of us that identify as women do, and definitely those of us who identify as melanated beings on the planet. So thank you for dropping in those names. And Zawadi, if you can call at least 5 or 6 of them, and then I'm going to continue to get myself prepared for the session. I need to ground myself more. I'm feeling the energy in my body. And so I try to listen as best I can to what they're telling me, but I need to make way for what they're giving me to say, despite what I prepared. All right, so Zawadi, can you share a few of those names if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Nancio McLean,
Yay.
Vernon Perkins, Cleo Thomas and Al Robinson, Ernie Nieves, Carmen Delia N., Alan Medley, Patricia Dawn and Mervyn Hewitt,
Mm.
Francis Brooks, Leonard Brooks, and Paula says Mom and Dad Bowens. We also have Lloyd Wilson, Robert and Maisie Fulston, Lexide, and Quest or Ost Nazon. Marie, bear with me. Eteldra McLean, Lucille Simmons, Peter Simmons Jr., and Kiel Rose. Melissa, Sister, and Mama Weezy to
Mm.
Medea.
Ashe.
C. Peterson, Ashe,
Yes,
Vivian Baker, and Ricardo McLean.
love
Those
it.
are ancestors that I have in the chat at the moment.
Mm.
And we may have a few new ones. I don't. Michelle Natalie McDowell Gamble. Shamani lives. Yes.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, that's my
Gamble.
daughter's name. My eldest daughter, who's now an ancestor. So thank you very much for that. Thank you, family, for trusting me with them and trusting us, by allowing that energy to be present in the space in this conversation. So my charge tonight is to amplify, to bring to life the conversation about courage over comfort. Wow. And no wonder I'm feeling the stirrings in my belly, because when you're talking about courage over comfort, that means that it's life and death for some of us, like some of the choices that we make. And that's not just the fleshly death of the body, right? But that's also like the killing off of a sense of stability, a sense of safety and security that we might have. So when you make these investments, like Angela was talking about, and Zawadi actually came in and shared like the fluctuations of the crypto and Bitcoin and just all of the ones that we have been taught to look at more closely, or we've been told to stay away from it, it's dangerous. Like, even when you embrace it and step into the investment game and start really, really putting your resources into it and using your fiat to actually tap into something that's innovative and new, something in you gets killed off. If you didn't know about it before, there's a part of you that dies off and there's a part that emerges and gets amplified and experiences a level of vibrancy and bubbling up and out. Even if you go unknowing and even if you go fearful, it's like you have activated a new level to yourself. So the other part of yourself is no longer in existence. If you get what I'm saying, just put yeah in the chat. If you don't, say, but it's all good. You're here, right? So you're going to listen to me for the minutes that I have. Thank you, Angela. So courage over comfort, the inner work of wealth building, it requires something. And I always meditate on what it is that I'm charged to share. So when I saw the title and some of the things that they didn't like, what do you want to talk about? They're like, this is what you're talking about. I love it. Like Disruptor DAO, the name Disruptor is in there for a reason. They're like, we're telling you what to say and what to share. So I acquiesce, I obey. It's not often, but I obey in this instance because I trust my sisters. And I said yes to that title. So we're going to talk about what Spirit gave me. Now, who in the space knows what a ledger is? Who here, like we're talking about finances, who knows what a ledger is? Maybe there are some accountants in this space, bookkeepers in this space, people who are into finance. Maybe you've been taught that, you remember it from your classes that you took when you took classes in business. I don't know, but who knows what that is? And if you do, raise your digital hand. I'm going to ask Zawadi or Angela or somebody to share who that might be, and you can just share. And this is not class, and please don't Google it. Like, don't cheat, don't chat GBT it. Just share what you know about a ledger. It could be one word, it could be one statement, a short statement. What is that? Before I share with you what the ancestors gave me. So, Zawadi, Angela, anybody? Hands up.
A lot of yeses.
All right, so they know what it is. So somebody raise their hand. Share it verbally. What is it? Share it verbally.
Come on now.
Somebody.
Angela says the blockchain is a digital ledger. So what I'll say, if we want to go old school, it's a book with many lines and many columns that records everything. If I want to think about this in a spiritual way, I'm going to say Akashic records.
Yes,
that could be a ledger as well. And I'm going to do that.
Yes, thank you. And you're my sister for a reason, Zawadi, because you're ahead of me, right? There are the ledgers that the world tells us, like there's the dictionary and there's probably a financial dictionary. And if you start reading that, it's absolute about what it is. And there's no waning from that. It's just, this is what it is. And you got to rock with that. But in this space, we are manifestors and co-creators. We are conjurers. We create what we want to create. So for me, because the ancestors know I will listen, they gave me something called a legacy ledger. And it's not like this is the first time that this has ever been talked about, but it's usually in financial terms or in terms that are more like aligned with some type of business manifestation. But what we're going to talk about tonight, as it relates to courage over comfort, is a legacy ledger, right? Some of us keep time really well. Others do not. Some of us are very comfortable with forgetting. And some of us are also very comfortable with claiming that our expertise, our success, our abundance has come from the might of our own thoughts and manifestations and our courage to move forward and our mightiness. And that has something to do with it. But y'all, we're connected to lineage. We're connected to ancestral, like I said, intelligence and power that we must identify so that we can keep growing and manifesting abundance. So I'm going to share with you what the concept of legacy ledger is for me, so that we can have that together. And they gave it to me so I can keep studying and manifesting from it. I'm like, I don't need no more to do, ancestors. That's not true. That's just how I operate when I get tired. But for tonight, I'm going to share what they gave, and I'm going to invite you to vision with me about what's possible as it relates to this subject matter. So legacy ledgers, right? One of the things that I love, ooh, wait a minute, let me make sure that I'm on the right thing. And it's so funny, I do this all the time, but here I am messing up, like I don't know what to do as an admin or a screen sharer. So can somebody share their voice, because we're co-creators tonight, with us and read what a legacy ledger is as we define it in this space? And I say we, because y'all are helping me amplify this as we go. So anyone?
I can read it.
All right, so I heard another voice too. So was that just Rukia or somebody else asked as well?
So unless y'all want to split it, or you tell us what to do.
All right, so we can split it. So Rukia, you can start with the title and read until impact. And girl, what's all that noise in the background? What's up?
I can turn that off.
Yes, please. You trying to be in 16 meetings at the same time?
No, so let her start and I'll turn that off. How
All
about
right,
that?
awesome. So Stace, the title, and then just read the first part of the definition in that middle statement, and then we'll let Rukia bring it on home.
So I'm ending at future.
Yes. No. You're ending at impact.
Okay. The legacy ledger. Legacy ledger is a sacred living record that tracks the healing, investments, and values a person or community carries across time. It chronicles the energy and actions associated with the past, present, and the future. It doesn't just capture financial wealth, it tells the story of emotional resilience, spiritual inheritance, and the intention to build generational impact.
Beautiful, Stacy. Thank you. Rukia, you ready?
Yes, the legacy ledger is both a mirror and a map. It reflects who we are, where we come from, what we and our ancestors have survived, and what we are seeding and securing for those yet to come.
All right, thank you. So now that you have seen this, you visually see it, you heard folks read it. I talked a little bit about a ledger and just the amplification. And also you heard what Zawadi said about it, the Akashic records and this spiritual component. Y'all know, well, some of you know what I'm talking about. Others might be side-eyeing me, but it doesn't matter because I am courageous enough to move beyond the discomfort of your side eye or your what do you call it? Lack of connection with what I'm saying. I'm still going to say it, right? And that's what we're talking about, because Angela talked about the shifts in the social and political climate, what they're saying about crypto, what they're saying about investment, what they're taking away from us. But when we're talking about a legacy ledger, if you keep track of what your ancestors have done, what's happening in the present time, and you start thinking about the future that you may not even be around for, but you're a contributor to because you leave your footprints, then you know that it is necessary for you to keep going and keep creating and not get caught up in your experience of pleasure and comfort and relaxation. You will know that you have to make tough decisions and you have to engage in courage under fire, even when the eyes that are looking at you are judging you, trying to oppress you, trying to keep you down, saying that you're ignorant, saying that what you believe about equity, all the things that get in the way of you taking action sometimes. And some of those messages have come from the people who look just like us, including family. So this legacy ledger will keep you on point because it'll remind you to look back at what your ancestors have gone through. And that's not just your bloodline, that's our people, your people, however you identify, because it's connected. And then utilize that information to determine what you do, what formula you utilize for your present, and then what you're going to create for the future. I am confident, especially those who were part of the antebellum period, those who were enslaved. I'm an African-American woman, so I have ancestors that were enslaved. I also have ancestors that came from the motherland that knew how to work the land and who were, I'm sure, regal and, had in charge, warriors, all kinds of things, that they left a footprint, a blueprint for us to do what we need to do. And some of us have never pushed the button. Some of us have never done the research. We're just in this moment in time, living this very small or short timeline, thinking that that's all there is. and it isn't true. So the legacy ledger allows you to look at past, present, and future and to start documenting with intentionality, not just the names we put in the chat, but what those stories are, what some of them did with very little, but were able to manifest abundance, able to feed their families, able to send folks to school, able to fight against racism and oppression and keep moving and growing another day. And I always say, a womb inside of a womb inside of a womb inside of a womb inside of a womb manifested me. I know they existed because I'm here. My eggs were inside of my mother's womb. My mother's eggs were inside of her mother's womb. Her name is Joyce. Joyce's eggs were inside of Cheney's womb. Like, yo, all of that means that we're connected. So the legacy is alive, and all of us are living legacies. And we have a ledger, whether we're conscious of it or not, that has been created because we exist, we breathe, we generate, we create, and we have to be intentional about it or not. If you don't want to be, that doesn't mean the ledger is not still being written on and created, like Zawadi said when she mentioned the Akashic records. So I'm going to pause because I get amplified. Like they want me to say all this stuff and I start speaking really fast. So let me slow myself down. I would love to hear one voice that will share, and it doesn't have to be in agreement, what's coming up for you as I share this before I move to the next slide, because I don't have a lot of time with you. So raise your digital hand if something is coming up for you as I share this. So Zawadi, Angela, Shay, who, Eve?
I see one hand. It looks like Dr. Eve.
Okay, you want to share, Dr. Eve?
You know, this for me just resonates so much because just this morning I was just giving grace to my ancestors because I just realized all the resilience, you know, even throughout my own life, despite all the struggles, it's like I have something and that's my ancestral strengths.
Yes.
So you're right. As I think about my ledger and I think about everything that my grandmother, my mother, my great-grandmother had to endure, you know, in the Caribbeans and in the mainland.
Ashe.
And yet, you know, some may think they've had just little resources, but they had an abundance. They had their spirit,
Yes.
right? And they passed that down. So yes, I love this notion of legacy ledger, and I thank you for presenting that to our
Of
community.
course, of course. And, you know, I'm getting like heat in my body as I think about you talking about the Caribbean and just the islands. One of the things, and I mean, no shade, no harm to anybody, but we've been duped into believing that we're separate, that we as a people who are part of the diasporic experience are not alike, and we are divided in that sense, which keeps us from accessing wealth. My ancestry is connected to those who are from the Caribbean. No matter how you identify, we come from the same places, if not full-blooded, part of our bloodline comes from that space. So we are connected. Your ledger, Eve, is connected to mine. And when we start operating from whiteness and patriarchy, we separate it out, and then we can't fully manifest the abundance that is our birthright. So you were going to say something else?
I'm just agreeing with you. It's just a collective harmony there.
Ashe, thank you, thank you. So I want to say that wealth is not just about thinking about money. We did talk about investments and crypto and what we can build for the future. It's also about wellness. It's about worth. We can't access our wealth fully in the form of dollars and cents if we're unwell. You can't even fully enjoy it if you're sick. We have to invest much of it in trying to get well, and we can't fully enjoy it if we don't have a sense of worth. The money cannot fill that empty, deep well. It's infinite when you don't address it. It just keeps getting bigger and wider and deeper and blacker. So in order for us to manifest fiat in the form of money, crypto, whatever that is, land, we have to work on our well-being, mental, spiritual, emotional well-being, as well as have a sense of worth and worthiness. Because if you don't think you're worthy, even when you get the money, you will be operating as a person who is less than and not worth what you have manifested, and you'll keep seeking these other things to feed that quench that unquenchable thirst and feed that pit that can never, ever, ever be satiated. So I think of us carrying, I think of us healing, I think of us building, I think about all the things that are to come that are part of our wealth conversation. I don't know. I have 2 grandbabies. I don't know who or what my great grandbabies will be like if my 2 grandbabies choose to co-create, because they may not. But I know that what I do now will impact them and those who are part of those generations, because it's like the butterfly effect. Whatever choices we make in these times, whatever we say, however we act, has a ripple effect and impacts other people, whether we're connected to them or know them or not. We live in a time where it is easy to panic, but courage is not the absence of fear. It's said all the time, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep moving forward and to move with intention, knowing that your legacy ledger is already there. There's already writings on there. There's already manifestation on there because you have ancestors. You already dropped the name in the chat if you were here when I asked you to do that. And there are other ancestors. We could do this all night. We don't have time for it, but you can tap in. Even if you only know where they were born, or if you only know like their name, you could just call the name and ask for their guidance and their blessing and ask for them to reveal their stories. This is what inner worth and wealth look like. And it's important for us to operate from this. So let me move forward really quickly. And because I have a special offer, we'll get a chance to connect around this, because I'm going to be doing this as part of the program that I'm launching in the fall. And the fall will be here before you know it, because time is moving, y'all. So building across time and space means that you look at the past, the present, and the future. These are 3 realms that are inextricably connected to who we are as human beings and human doings, right? What do I mean by that? We're human beings doing a whole bunch of shit, but we're not always allowing ourselves to experience the power and the awesomeness of life. One of the things about me is I work a lot. I work hard. Sometimes I work to exhaustion, but I'm very, very clear that I have a calling that has me operating that way. Being a revolutionary, which I am, being somebody who is called to do activism work, advocacy work, who's being a leader, breaking down paradigms and cycles, means that I work differently than other people. And some people can't hang, and that's okay. I do need rest, but I also have to keep going. So when some folks are like, it's time to pause, I'm like, I don't know about that. I do need to rest so I can keep going forward, but I have a calling and I have a finite amount of time on this time frame and my space in the Akashic records. And I know that I have, it's time to keep moving, especially in this system that we're in right now, socially and politically. I have to speak up, I have to speak out, I have to hold people accountable. It's not always pretty, but that's what I'm here to do. And it's very uncomfortable. But my title for the session today is Courage Over Comfort. So I have difficult conversations with people. I push back up against people. My wealth is predicated on me doing what I am called to do and what the ancestors tap me on the shoulder to do every day. Does it feel good? No, but everything that's for you doesn't have to feel good. So say what you need to say in the chat. You might think I'm wrong, but that's okay. That's part of the power of being human. We don't always have to agree. So I want you to know that your legacy ledger must include entries around the past, entries around the present life that you are living, and entries around the future that you want to manifest and create, and making room for spirit to tell you what that future looks like so you know what the hell to do in the present moment. It's like, okay, I got to take these steps so that this future will manifest whether I'm here to witness it or not. It also requires trust. And a lot of us don't trust ourselves or each other. And so when those downloads come through, we get shook and we ignore them, and then we impact other people's futures too. I am so clear that my future is tied to the futures of people, the 24 other people that are in this space. So I don't have room to get shook by my upset, because I'm impacting you. I'm here talking to you. So whether you see me or not, again, my ingredients that I'm pouring into this space is going to impact your ultimate dish for your life. So the past, the questions to ask for your ledger, and I'm like I said, if you join the session in the fall, you'll see what this structure looks like. The past has you asking questions. What ancestors are you carrying with you? Because they're with you. I hope y'all know that we're living the past, the present, and the future right now. Anybody disagree with that? Please tell me in the chat. We are living, I am living the past, the present, and the future right now. My DNA is connected to the past because it's connected to my great, 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 great grandfather and my great, 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 great grandmother, whether I know their names or not. So the past exists right now within me, just as well as the present, because I'm speaking to you now, and the future is created by my very breath. I'm breathing into the future as I talk to you. So if you don't trust it or trust me, live a little. What did they endure, meaning your ancestors, create? What did they sacrifice for you to be here, beloved? You may not know the full story, but if you know somebody was born in 1812 in your lineage, you know what the hell they were dealing with, whether they were in the Caribbean or here in the United States or on the motherland. You know that they was experiencing something based on what we know about the historical frameworks that exist back then. What generational narratives are still shaping your decisions today? Some of this we haven't transformed because we haven't broken the cycle. And if you know anything about epigenetics, you know that trauma can be passed on through the DNA and altered. So we have to pay attention to how we think and how we operate so we can break cycles and release the trauma so that those who will come after us don't have to carry your load of trauma and somebody else's load of trauma. Break the cycle. The past has the information for you to do that. What needs to be healed so that the pattern cycles aren't repeated? And what chains must you break so that the future generations can fly with crypto, with stock, with land ownership, with manifesting relationships that are healthy, whatever the wingspan is needed for you to jump and leap and survive and thrive. The present questions: how are you investing your time? Some of us waste a lot of time. We eating all the time, or we engaging in gossip all the time, or we're sitting up in a woe is me story all the time. How are you using your present energy? Because time is currency. How are you using the money that you have? I know I waste too much money on Uber Eats. And so I'm like, yo, I got to stop this so I can invest the money I'm spending on Uber Eats each week and start investing that in the crypto and taking advantage of these crazy times, because inside of the lies, the truth is embedded. Are the decisions, choices that you're making rooted in fear, or are they rooted in freedom? Sometimes it's a mixed bag. I can be in fear one moment and then jump to freedom in the next. It switches in an instant, depending on who you are. Are you building for yourself, or do you have the collective in mind? Because some of us are very selfish. Once again, we're talking about courage over comfort. Some of us are like, oh, I need to pay my rent. I need to make sure that my phone stays on. I need to make sure whatever the ... is, and you're not thinking about collective. So you get caught up in that small story, and you keep operating from fear and then amplifying the same thing that keeps you in the loop. The last thing, the future. I just told y'all we're living the past, the present, and the future right now. We're creating that through this conversation, through the thoughts that you're thinking of and what you want to put in place. Some of us heard me talk about the Uber Eats, and you're like, yeah, I need to stop. I'm not going to order tonight after this session. So the future has already been created for you because you're not going to take that action. What are you seeding right now, beloved, for your descendants? It ain't about you. What systems or rituals will carry your vision forward? The vision, which is really not yours, but is coming through you as the conduit, but you don't own it. So let's stop buying into the fallacy of me, and individualism, and buy into the collective consciousness so we can get what we were born to get and receive in the service of the larger body and community for the future. So I'm going to pause. Right now, I was going to do something else, but I won't because I know I'm out of time. I will share the special offer that is connected to what I've just presented. I would love to hear from 2 people, and then I'll take the slides down. So anybody want to talk about the legacy ledger and what's up on your end? I'm here for it.
Don't be shy.
Remember, we said you can't be shy, right? It's courage over comfort.
I don't see any hands either.
Okay. All right. We rocking out like that, family? You know, I'm a person that volunteers people. I see a hand. Thank you. Stacey, you always share. I'm going to ask somebody else to share. Cassandra, I don't know you. Or Cassandra, I don't know how you pronounce it, but last name Medley, you'll let me know. And Stacey, it's not like I'm not calling on you. I just want to let you know that you do a lot of work for groups, and I want to make sure that others do their work.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Medley, Cassandra. Anyway, I just everything you're saying is so important, and so it's really so vital to me. And I am someone who has a history of mental illness in my family. So this notion of ancestors and that being carried through generations is a very challenging aspect. And I am writing about it. And there it is. It comes up in all, but particularly my mother and several of the women in her part of the family really suffered from mental illness that impacted all of us.
Jay,
And so working with that is really hard, really hard. That's it.
thank you. And I won't ask you to share it verbally in the space, but in the chat, if you get a chance, because I'm passing the baton back to Eve. I'm past my time and I want to honor that. But what I will say is, Cassandra, if you were not saying it's hard, it's hard, it's hard, what are three things you would be saying? If you weren't filling up the future with it's hard, it's hard. Because remember, I said every breath you take, every word you speak is creating the future. So if it's not, it's hard, it's hard, it's hard, and you triple down on it, what would it be? And Eve, I pass the baton back to you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time, your patience, and thank you for your courage. I'm complete.
Thank you, Shawnee. Dr. Eve?
This has been so mind-blowing. And I wish we could have you for another hour here because you have been so inspirational. And that's what you do. You're such an inspiration on so many levels. And I thank you for that on behalf of the entire Disrupt the Dow. We're going to actually pass this on to our co-founder. We're going to bring Angela back because she's going to tell us a little bit about where we are heading. And because we have a wonderful town hall coming up. And then we're going to, you want to stay to the end because Shawnee has granted such a gift as a scholarship for one person in our audience tonight. And she's going to do that intuitively. So please stay to the end because she has a gift to offer and we have a couple of other gifts as well. So Angela.
All right.
All
coming-
right. We're back. I just want to acknowledge and give thanks to Shawnee for that powerful, powerful just awareness of lineage. And even I didn't know what you were going to talk about tonight either, but when you talk about the ledger, I'm like, oh, the blockchain is a ledger. Let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about how it keeps record that kind of like the Akashic records, right? It's immutable, right? It cannot be changed. However, we can add new blocks to the chain. We continue to add memories, add transactions, add information and data to the blockchain, just as we add to our communities. We add information to our tribe. And as we are soaking up a lot of knowledge right now, we're adding that to the future. So thank you so much, Shawnee, and giving insights and into Disruptor DAO's roadmap and how we are continuing to put records into our ledger in community and collectively. So definitely in alignment and so grateful for this conversation tonight. But I'm gonna keep going through this because we got one to be mindful of everyone's time. But y'all are family and we look forward to seeing y'all soon in our upcoming events. So as Zwadi said earlier on, we have several pillars of impact that Disruptor DAO operates our programming within. And so the first one, which is our within mindset, is our education and knowledge building framework, where this year, the rest of this year, we have a couple of different opportunities to continue to plug into our educational opportunities. Now, I've heard about our digital course, which we're still working on that and are preparing to release that over the next through the summer and into the fall. We have youth mental and financial wellness workshops that are coming up as well. And then season 4 of our Wellness Wednesdays will launch again in September. So tonight is the final night, our season finale of our Wellness Wednesdays for season 3. Thank y'all again for being with us. You can catch the replays on our YouTube. I imagine somebody's going to drop our YouTube in the chat for you to catch the replays, and stay tuned for season 4 dropping in September. And then we're super excited. We're planning out what our 3rd annual summit will look like. And we're holding space for it to be live, in real life, in person in New York. So look out for that, happening fall 2025, within our educational framework, where we'll be talking about the future of work. So educating on all the things that we just shared a bit about tonight, what the future of work looks like, the future of business, the future of finance, and how can we prepare ourselves and our communities to live and thrive and be in the future. Within our enterprise network, where we are building, we have Futurist Frontiers, which is our Ask Me Anything. Season 2 is happening July 25th, and I just confirmed our guests today. So be on the lookout for our Futurist Frontiers, where we hear from industry leaders, people who are in the industry right now, building in blockchain, building in AI, building in these disruptive technology spaces, and from them sharing with us how the industry is positioning and what they see for the future around these disruptive technologies. Again, I mentioned about our summit that is taking place, where we are looking to engage business owners around the future of work, how to prepare your business for the future, as well as our Disruptor Enterprise Collective. And so Shani touched a bit about how we need the importance of building collectively, how we are one collective movement. We are an ecosystem together collectively. And so we are building out our offerings and our programmings to specifically focus on how can we build our businesses, our offerings, our creations collectively, and work together in doing that. So be on the lookout for hearing from us about our Business Enterprise Collective, as well as our town hall. So we are cultivating community and our team through our crypto town hall, which is going to take place June 18th. And so I'm going to drop our registration link for that in the chat right now. And so please register and share far and wide about our crypto town hall, where we will have a guest speaker from the Digital Chamber talking about policy. I touched a teeny bit on it tonight, the policies coming down the pike as it relates to digital assets and cryptocurrencies. We're also looking to expand our team, our education team, as well as our volunteers team. So folks who are interested in being a part of our Disruptor DAO team, looking to expand in that way, as well as our partner, the ARIA Foundation. And so Shani and Zawadi spoke about our partnership with the ARIA Foundation for giving season happening in the fall. And so be on the lookout for opportunities to give and connect more with the ARIA Foundation, our partner. And we're teeing up for that. And then lastly, Disruptor DAO, we are building technology. We are building our governance platform, which will allow us to be able to make proposals, vote on things, and have a technology mechanism for being efficient in our governance and our administrative processes. And so we're working on that kind of behind the scenes and looking to launch our governance smart contract on the blockchain within hopefully end of this year, top of 2026. And so we're actively building on that as well. So that's our current roadmap, and we're super excited to build collectively together. I'm complete.
All right. Thank you so much, Anjali. This evening is turning into something more than we even thought about. We have so much to share with you. We thank you all for your patience. We thank you for your love and your understanding as you have been with us through season 3. And we're going to go to our next slide to talk about our town hall meeting, the United States of Crypto. United States for many reasons. It deepens the conversation that we're having tonight. We're going to talk about policy, the changing landscape in this current political climate, how you can tap in. Once again, as I said, deepening the conversation, no need to fear. The link is in the QR code is on the screen. We are dropping links in the chat for the United States of Crypto. And you may not know, but different states in the US have different policies. And whether you like it or not, this administration is working to try to bring some of those policies and states together. New York being one of the most restrictive states when it comes to cryptocurrency. A new commission has been formed, new federal commission, new state commission for New York City. So we get to see what's coming up, good, bad, or indifferent. So we look forward to seeing you at that. It's June the 18th. Save the date in your calendar. Same time, different time, 6:30 to 8. Dynamic speakers. And what more is there to say except be there or be square? Next slide, please. All right. We are at our fabulous poll. Okay, so let me just really say this. Angela just called for volunteers. We work hard for Wellness Wednesdays. It is something that you get to partake of free of charge, but we are working consistently on bringing you the best guests, the best topics, and this poll is asking you what you think about what we're doing, what you want to hear from us going further. Yeah, going further. Because season 4 is coming up. And we are taking a break. As you know or may not know, tonight is the last night for Wellness Wednesday. We take a well-deserved rest. We come back in September. But do believe it's not truly a rest because we are working on the next season or bringing you the best. So, Dr. Eve, would you please put up the poll?
Yes, can you see the poll?
Not yet. What I
Yeah,
see are the
I
poll
see it.
reflection. I see
You
it now.
see it? Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. So it's just 2 questions, folks. Actually, there's 4, but we're just going to, but what we would like to do is start off with which Wellness Wednesday topic resonated with you the most. All you would have to do is just tap on your screen with your cursor. You already have 4% who's participated. Let's try to do this quickly, folks. You could either do it with your cursor or you could touch screen, whatever works best. And this really helps us to know what resonated with you and how we can plan better. So we have so far 9% have participated. If we could have a few more folks participated in a poll, that would be awesome. 19%. Come on, folks. We're wrapping up this evening and we need your support because the next question obviously is also very important. What type of content would you like to see more of in the next season? This is super important because we will be meeting for the next 5 Wednesdays trying to put something spectacular for you. So if we could get at least half of our participants to please take a second. We're almost there, 38%. We would like to see at least 50% of y'all complete this poll and we will be wrapping up. There you go, guys, a little bit more. And at the end, the last question is if anyone's interested to volunteer or to speak, if you have something that you would like to teach, show, share, please direct message us because we would love to have community members be part of our Wellness Wednesday. We are all mentors. We are all teachers here. So let's do this together. I would love it if it's 90%. I feel like I'm in an auction, but come on, folks, we're almost there. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for participating. This is important.
Stacy says we are
30
reading.
more seconds. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm going.
This kind of information helps us because we work based on what you tell us. And that's why our Telegram chat is equally important. You know, and we do this all pro bono. We don't get compensated for this. So this is a way of saying, of you guys saying, we take this as a vote of appreciation. We're going to close our poll now and I'm going to turn it over.
What's the percentage that we have so far?
We had 85%. Thank you so much. And it seems like here our top, what resonated the most, interestingly, is financial empowerment, followed by healing and inner work. And someone said I was just about to hit something. I'm so sorry, but you can put it in the chat. If I went too soon, put it in the chat. And FYI, most of you saying workshops or step-on-step on how-to sessions, followed by deep dives into financial literacy, followed by beginner-friendly tech education. Thank you so much, folks. I'm going to end this, close that out. Thank you so much. And we'll be wrapping up and then the raffles.
Okay. So, you see the slide, our mindset products. Tonight, we actually started with our affirmation card, the first slide out, so you could vibe on that. If anybody had anything to say about that, how they thought about themselves, please drop it in the chat. But we do have right now 2 products, our affirmation journal and the mindset deck. Cards to get you through your day, have you thinking about your day, have you thinking about your mindset. Where's your mind? So often during the day, we get thrown off by the people at our job, by our family and friends calling us, solving issues, putting out fires. Focusing your mindset is a way to keep yourself in balance. Buy the set for a gift, buy it for yourself. As you see, there is an Etsy link, and we also have put it in the chat. We'll put it in the chat again. If you don't know, we have a Telegram chat group. Please join. Click on the QR code or the link is in the chat. Telegram is an app, and it's where we post all of our relevant information along with YouTube and also Instagram. But in Telegram, you can post the information for yourself, your business, or your community group. What are you doing? What are you involved in? Our community wants to know. So please become a member of our Telegram chat.
Yes, yes. And folks, this is a way of supporting us.
Now, last, well, no, not even last, but not least, because we got to waste. We have a few more slides. So, Disruptor DAO. I'm going to bring Shawnee to do the raffle, but before that, I just want to talk about what we're offering. Disruptor DAO is offering our first cyber course, our cybersecurity course. Journey to Wealth is offering their investing masterclass. It is on 2 days. It is tomorrow, Thursday, and it is also Saturday AM. How many people here have participated in the masterclass? When I first met Alicia in 2020, it was on Woo, Wake Up Everybody. I tuned in one morning, and Shawnee said, and the next guest will be talking about finances. I knew I had to get my stuff together. I was up, dressed, and ready for the 7 o'clock call during COVID. So, and if you haven't taken it, I'll say it's the beginning of the building blocks of finance, but for you to check yourself out, to know what's going on in your finances. It's a chance to review core strategies, get real-time market updates, and expand your toolkit. And there are 2 new bonus sections: investing in precious metals and investing for our precious children. So as I said, it's tomorrow, 6:30 to 8:30, and Saturday from 9 to 11. And then our last raffle, Shawnee is going to come back to talk about that. So Shawnee, I will let you take away to, or come back to talk about the process.
Righty. So we're going to select 3, make 3 intuitive selections so that folks can win an opportunity to participate with these awesome offerings. So you want to start with Disruptor DAO, Zawadi?
Sure.
Right. Let me see. One of my favorite numbers is the number 19. So if we can declare who the number 19 is in the space, one of the admins can count off and see where we land with that number and see who our winner is. But you have to accept, because you can win and be like, I'm not going to that. I'm not available. So if you're not available, then we'll move on to the next person. Eddie, Eve.
So is number 19 would be the Disruptor DAO cybersecurity course, which is an online course that was a paid course, and you will have it for 30 days for free, and that will go to Chantel Gamble. Where's Chantel Gamble?
I'm here. I knew it. I knew it.
All right. So Chantel, I would love for you to direct message me, please, with your email address. Look at it once and twice, make sure it's correct, and we will get back to you. If you give us tomorrow, I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Yes. Well, thank you, Shawnee, my partner in crime, and Shamani, her number 19. Thank you, ladies.
You will definitely love that. It's going to be if you're stock and crypto investor, this is the way to go.
Thank
You're
you
gonna
so
like
much,
the course.
ladies. I received.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And drum roll for investing masterclass from Journey to Wealth. Our guest speaker was Alicia Holmes. Unfortunately, she could not be here. She extends her apologies. She still has her raffle, and she will be meeting us and giving us another session because she could not be here today. So stay tuned for that.
All
So
right.
Shawnee?
Yep. So one of my other numbers that I love, love, love is the number 10. So who is number 10?
Number 10 is Hector Nieves.
On Hector's device.
So, Hector, if you can direct message me, you have won an investing masterclass. And I know that you like to do things as a couple. And I know that Alicia Holmes loves inspiring couples. So, congratulations, Mr. Nieves. All right, drum roll.
All right. Now I love.
Ooh, this is the juicy one. And she hasn't spoken about it, but please, folks, for those who, even if you do not win this raffle, you don't want to miss this. She's going to speak to you all about it.
It
And
almost
here you go.
that part. I got too excited. Let me
Yes, please.
You're welcome, Hector. Hector said thank you.
what the heck this is. Don't die. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I have the right information for all of you and that I do this quickly. So, back in 2023, I talked to y'all about this earlier. I got a download that I needed to develop a program for the next level of growth and development for the women who did my Rites of Passage program, and launched it in the fall of 2023. And it's called WILD, Women Intuitively Leading by Design. I'm a metaphysician. I believe that part of what challenges us with leadership is that we don't look at it holistically, that we get stuck in just our minds and we forget that there are other parts of us that are intelligent and that can support us with decision-making, growth, development, transformation, and manifestation. So this is a 4-month intensive for adult women from all backgrounds, ages, leadership paths. Whether you're CEO, healer, organizer, mother, mentor, artist, however you identify, this program is for you. And you can join us. It's all virtual. There are 7 sessions that will be offered that is training and development and tool manifestation. And then there's 7 opportunities to be with a group so you can manifest more growth and development with those skills. The cost of the program is $1,500. So somebody is going to manifest a $1,500 value offering. But if you get selected, you have to be willing to say yes to the journey, and we'll have the information so that you can register and do all the things. So here are the details. Once again, 7 leadership training sessions over a 4-month period, 7 wild small group sessions over the 4-month period, opening and closing ceremonies. And then we have 4 optional sessions that you can do to amplify your healing, but they're optional. You don't have to do them and they have a separate course. So the information is here, but once again, you'll learn more. I don't want to take up too much time. You'll be coached, you'll be supported, and you'll be provided with a space to stretch and grow and discover things. And one of the things you'll discover is how to do your legacy ledger and do it with intention and keep doing it so you keep growing and chronicling your journey. And we have free wild introductions. I always do a session so you can get acclimated, like what is this and what is it about? So that free session, Leading by Nature, Awakening the Wild Woman Within, the free session is offered on June 8th. So that's next Sunday, Tuesday, July 8th. No, not next Sunday, the Sunday after that from 11 to 1. Then Tuesday, July 8th, the next one is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'll be facilitating and you can register. Chantel will drop the link in the chat. And those are free offerings so you can test the waters and get your feet wet and see if this is something that you're interested in doing. And please tell others so that they can participate. Let's walk on the wild side, y'all. Women intuitively leading by design. By design is what you were born to do, not the stories you've made up and all the trauma and stuff, but like how you innately are supposed to be as a leader. Maybe not supposed to. Y'all know what I mean. And so we have a free offering, a full scholarship, $1,500 value, hosted by yours truly and Spirit of a Woman LLC. And the number is 22. The number is 22.
Put my juju on it.
You did. Did you? Did you win
Dr.
really?
No, I don't know. Dr. Eve? Maybe I won by default. Where did Dr. Eve go?
Is that
I'm still counting. I want to count it twice. 1, 2, 3.
Angela's like, I know already.
Woo, 18. Okay. Wow. So our winner for tonight is Vashta Wilson. Congratulations, Vashta.
Is Vashta a yes? Because remember, you got to be a yes. You got to be. We can talk about the details and all that other stuff. So I don't know. Did Vashta say yes?
Thank you. Yes.
Where's
Oh my
Vashta? Vashta,
goodness.
let me see you off video.
Oh, wait a minute.
Vashta,
Yay. You see me clapping?
Okay, I got you, Vashta. I got you.
Right. Okay.
Get ready.
All right.
Oh, thank you
Congratulations,
so very much.
Vashta.
I
Oh,
thank my
Vashta, you're gonna have a
ancestors, too,
great-
on that one. That was
Vashta, you will
fancy.
have a great time and you will have the ability to do phenomenal work, all jokes aside.
Ashe, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, thank you
Vashta, please
so very much.
direct message either
I
myself or
will.
Sawadi now. Your phone number and email, please.
Yes. And then Chantel dropped in the information to register for the
Yes.
sessions. Y'all can go to the free sessions. You can check it out and join Vashta. All right. Thank y'all, family, for the opportunity.
Thank you. So,
Gentlemen,
are
I'm
going.
sorry,
to
Sawadi.
back-
I'm sorry. Make
Oh.
sure that I'm sorry to speak over you, Sawadi. Ladies, there's a lot of links that were left in the chat. Please take a moment to look at the chat because it has our Disruptor DAO info as well as the links to these to the JTW masterclass and to Shawnee's information as well. So please take a look. Sorry, Swati.
Okay, so I think Shayna, you are doing the slide. Whoever's doing the slide, just click one more time. So what we see right now is our season 3 replays. We are on YouTube and we've been posting content each week. We do have some more catch up to do, so bear with us. YouTube.com/the @disruptor DAO. If you happen to be on YouTube already, I always keep a YouTube link up. And in the search box, I put in @DisruptorDAO. It takes you straight to our page and you can see what we have been producing. If you happen to have been missing, no shame, no shade, but if you haven't kept up with us, you'll get to know what we are doing. And on YouTube, there are several categories to click on. A lot of our season 3 content would be under live because we're actually recording live. We'll just do a quick edit and you'll have it tomorrow morning, I believe. And season 4, okay, I don't know what's happening, but season 4, it starts this September the 10th and it goes until early December. It might be December the 10th as well. But you will be able to join us Wednesdays weekly. The last thing I want to say, I hear some background noise. If you can please mute, that would be great. The last thing I want to say is that thank you for joining us. As I've said it a few times, we've been working hard for y'all, child, hard, okay? We've had fabulous guests in this past few months who've given their time, their energy, and we certainly do thank them. But stay tuned. Our bit.ly link is in the chat. Our bit.ly link is on the screen. Click on the QR code. Just get with us. That's the real deal. So we fed you. Oh, and I want to acknowledge Noe, because when Shawnee was speaking, I don't see it now, but Noe, who has just exodus to San Miguel de Allende, had the opportunity to attend a native festival this weekend, and she shot us some pictures. She shot me some pictures. Sorry about that, y'all. But there's a lot going on in the country that our head seems to be having a problem with. But there's a lot. Large country, I think 31 states, a lot of information, a lot of people that even look like us. So don't discount anything. But I've said all I need to say. Everybody come off mute and give us a warm thanks.
Thank you all.
This
Thank
was
you
so
all.
great.
Thank you
so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all
See
see
y'all
you.
next
Love.
season.
Hard work.
Thank
Goodness.
This
Thank
was
you,
just
Coach
beautiful. I'm
Shani.
so
Great
proud of
work.
y'all.
Great
Thank
session.
you.
Thank
I'll
you.
see y'all in the
Bye-bye.
fall.
See you in the fall. Thank you.
Yes.
No, you
See
see us in
y'all.